E te iwi, nau mai haere mai, ki tēnei papa hotanga a whakaata Māori. Ka mihi ki ngā maunga, ngā wai, me ngā ahi kā o tēnei rohi. Tēnā koutou katoa. Ki ngā kai whakahaere, me ngā kai whakataitai. He mihi mahana, hoki ki a koutou. Kua raupika mai ki ngā mātakitaki i ngā whitu pauro. Nei te taonga o te rectory, e tākaro ana a tūranga tāne ki a ngā motu. E runga e te where nei. Kia ora, Ben.
Tobias, thank you very much and eloquently spoken. It's wonderful to be here with you, Tobias Horsfield, with Kevin Gledhill, Ben O'Brien from Makata Māori. First things first, it's a big broadcast today for Makata Māori, Kevin. You're back here as a teacher, Gisborne Boys High School, as a person from New Plymouth with that background. How excited are you?
I'm very excited to be here to this game today, Ben, and it's a privilege to work with you. Appreciate the invitation to be here. This is going to be a good game. It's the last game for the Gisborne Boys High School team on the Rectory Field before they have an opportunity to try and become the Hurricanes' top four. It's also the last game for New Plymouth Boys High School before they have an opportunity to try out for the top four for the Chiefs region. So there's plenty to play for. There's an opportunity to carry on playing next week. Both teams have had a pretty average record. New Plymouth Boys High have had just the one win and one draw, and unfortunately Gisborne have yet to have a win, but they've played some pretty good games as of late.
9 players, Kevin, from New Plymouth playing their last game today. An emotional moment, especially Super 8. They're playing their last game of Super 8 rugby today. 12 for Gisborne. As someone who knows rugby, what would be going through your mind? How would a young man be feeling at this stage?
Oh, those young men have given their all for the jersey this season. Knowing it's their last game to playing for the school they represented with honour. They'll be feeling a lot of emotion. Their parents and their friends will be wishing them the best of luck. And, it's a time in their life that they will treasure forever, playing for this school and playing their last game, knowing it's a moment that they only have as a memory now. And I'm sure they're going to be trying to put their best foot forward and have a good game.
Tobias, just for a moment, as a person of their age group, similar to these guys, you'd know a few of them. You may have played with or against some of them. What are they like as a group? Is rugby a diversion, or do they live and breathe it?
For me, Ben, it's awesome to see all the young fellas playing today. For me, especially when I was a year 13, all these boys are year 9s, they were year 10s.
Wow.
So for me to see them playing in first 15 rugby today, it's amazing. It's amazing to see, and I can just tell you right now that these boys, they live and breathe rugby, Ben. They do anything with rugby. They love rugby. They enjoy rugby. I'm sure if rugby was a part of education, they'd be taking that. But yeah, Ben, the boys are ready. The boys are ready.
Well, I hope they are ready. The truth is that the last time New Plymouth came here, they had a win. Their first in 14 attempts. It's not an easy place to win a game at. Kevin, you'd remember during your time at Gisborne Boys High School, they had a 7-year period where they went undefeated in inter-school games on this ground, and they're still fighting and punching above their weight.
Oh, they certainly are. I mean, the Gisborne Boys High have had a superb record, not just in Super 8, but in the top 4 competition, even before they changed the format. They've had some great coaches, Graham Torrey, Kim Harris, Dick Glover, Brian Cairns. They've all been a part of the history, the rich history that Gisborne Boys High offers, and these players today are hoping to try and emulate them. You're sure they haven't had a very good season as far as the results go, but their heart's in the right place and they're playing for their school because they know of the history themselves, I'm sure. But you're so right, 88, 90, 94, they were the top school in New Zealand. They've been in international competitions, the Sanok's top 4. They've got a huge record, Ben, and maybe later on in the commentary I might mention 1 or 2 players who have come through the ranks and done very well.
Well, of course, we can't forget that in 1992, I think it was, yes, 92, New Plymouth won the first World Cup. They won the first World Cup, and they beat Adelaide College. Now, that was, people could not believe that had happened, but it was their tenacity, it was their hard work. Tobias, for a second to you, in our wonderful language, the treasure, the reo, if you could speak to people out there about what rugby means to that Māori component within the school.
Ai te iwi te maunga whatupauro o tūranga tāne, tūranga nui a kiwa. This is our sport. So how rugby is New Zealand's top sport, this is like Gisborne. It's for us. So you see more people playing rugby than you see more people playing anything else.
Yeah.
But for our Māori culture, for the boys to rep their tūranga nui tāne, their tūranga tāne name, and they're living by their values, courage, integrity, excellence, courage knows no defeat. They live and breathe that. So it's going to be interesting today to see how the boys come.
Well, you know, it was 1999 when I went to the gully for the first time. Mr. Lyle French Wright was the principal then. He was the most cultured, civilised man I think I've ever met. They treated us like kings. Wonderful game. Gisborne Boys got away with it, 28-17. Richard Brown scored a try to win the game, came on for Mark Shaw. Gisborne Boys were very lucky to have 2 very good halfbacks that year, Mark Shaw, Richard Brown. A wonderful team effort, come from behind, sort of do or die, last gasp. Kevin, the gully's got an atmosphere, but this place, the rectory's got an atmosphere too. What are I mean, they're all a bit different. What comes home to you when you get to the rectory and you look at the ground, the layout of the ground and everything else? How does it strike you?
Well, the rectory just holds a lot of mana for the boys of the school at Gisborne, and it's the main rugby ground for the Gisborne Boys High First 15, and any team that comes here, they know they're going to be in for a tough contest. I'm not too sure what it is, but I think, as I said earlier, Ben, it's the record of the previous teams on this ground. It just holds so much mana for those who put the boots on and the jersey on for the Gisborne Boys High. As far as the gully is concerned, the gully also has got a great amphitheatre for watching rugby, one of the best in New Zealand, and you're high up over the ground looking at the players, and to put the jersey on from your Plymouth Boys High there and run out onto the field, it's such a huge honour, and everyone aspires to do both that at both schools, to be in their first 15, play for their school on their treasured ground, and the crowds come along and watch the game, and it's a great spectacle.
Well, Otago boys have Little Paul. St. Peter's have the cage. New Plymouth Boys High School, they have the gully. And, of course, Gisborne Boys High School, the rectory. The rectory named for the headmaster during the days when we had a boarding facility. And, of course, when he was a resident there from memory. And it's an amazing thing to think of the changes that have taken place. Gisborne Boys, of course, became Gisborne Boys 1956. The roll then was 1223 in 1955. Following year, I think, from memory, it was 519. So a big drop, one of the smaller schools. Kevin, since you got to New Plymouth, how hospitable have the people been, and what's the rugby culture like there?
Oh, it's a great rugby culture in New Plymouth Boys High, and especially in the Tauranga region. You mentioned the roll numbers. I mean, I think Gisborne Boys High is about 850. We have about, in New Plymouth Boys High, about 1580. So there's a bit of a difference there. And the hostel at both the rectory here in the old days was a key component in getting players to come to play for the school, and same in New Plymouth. The culture is very strong. It's been developed over many years, and the players and the students just know what it's like to be at the school. We have as our mantra in New Plymouth Boys High, be the example, and I'm sure, you know, Gisborne has a mantra as well that ensures that the boys have respect and integrity and love playing for their school.
Yes. Tobias, that motto, Virtus Repulsae Nescia in Latin, means courage knows no defeat. In Māori, that motto, it's a wonderful thing, courage knows no defeat. What's its equivalent in Māori, and can you describe, or can you give us an idea of the difference that it's made to the boys and the community with, not adjoining, because they've always been together, but of the fact that these cultural elements are embraced now, and they're a very important part of what happens. How does that make you feel? How does that draw whakata Māori viewers in? How does that make you feel as a student going to Gisborne Boys High School from this area, that this is a place that celebrates you?
Well, for me, Ben, to start that off, tohinga kore, tō mate kore, courage knows no defeat, virtuous repulse initia. So we got that drilled into us a lot. The Māori tohinga kore, tō mate kore, every single week at assembly.
Who drilled it into you?
Kenzie, Mr. Ken, Mr. Tom Kens, always legend, living legend. But yeah, I think for me especially, it's good to see the Māori culture be shown in rugby. The boys I saw on the side of their tohinga kore, because they know it's always there. Courage knows no defeat. They could be losing by 50. They have the courage. They could come back. Courage knows no defeat. Boys High have done it. They can probably do it again. I've got faith in our boys.
Yeah, well, I mean, as the Boston Celtics used to say, we didn't lose, we just ran out of time. I love that. Well, that was Boston. They wouldn't accept the loss anyway. This rectory, it's a beautiful ground, a windswept ground. It's a bright day today. Conditions have improved. Little wind, little southerly, but it's a perfect setup. And the fact of the matter is that you wouldn't beat it in terms of excitement when there's a big crowd in.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, Ben, the rectory ground holds special memories for a lot of people, especially me too. I've played on this ground and I've watched rugby here growing up as a kid in Gisborne. And yeah, it's always a difficult ground for visiting teams to come here and play, simply because of the mana associated with the field and what it means for the players to play against the visiting teams. There's been many good teams that have come to this field and have not won a game, and not won, but they always put up a good contest, and it's a great place to play rugby.
Now, Tobias, we won't burden you and ask you for a literal translation of the haka, but you might give us its name, a little bit about it, and of course the great man who composed it.
Yeah, definitely. So the Boys High haka is ko wai ngā tamato. Back in the day, it was, let's just say, it was a frightening haka back then. Boys used it to sort of intimidate. But it's composed by Sir Derek Lardulli, famous old boy of Gisborne Boys High School. But yeah, I had the pleasure to learn that haka in my year 10, and goodness, I was sore after it. But yeah, it is a powerful haka.
Well, it appears, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our team lists. And so I will run through Gisborne Boys High School, and then Kevin will run through New Plymouth for you. First things first, the starting 15. Malosi Tuafalialo, who scored Gisborne Boys' only try against Rotorua in the Super 8 game there. Tyrone Mohini, Franco Ludwig, the entire front row playing their last game of Super 8 rugby today. Tana Bristow stormed a tier, two outstanding lock forwards. Becco Page, who scored their sole try against Hamilton, his last game today. James Mackay scored a double, coming off a double last weekend against Tauranga Boys College, undefeated in the Super 8 today. Mano Tavaki plays his last game today, number 8 forward, most valuable player against fielding. Liam Beattie, the halfback, plays his last game today in the Super 8. So does Quaden Chafikora. Great try against St Patrick's College Silverstream here, the win that never was. On the left wing, Timawaki Stewart, first try against Hastings. Puna Hihi, 50-plus games. Puna captain of the team this year. Second 5/8. Impala Waipara, who's magic against Stream. Samali Vono debuted against Mount Maunganui. 14 debutants that day. His last game today. Kaurangi Leach Waihi, fullback, scored a try against Tauranga Boys College. The reserves, Patalisio Tavaki, Tomasi Mataele, Fetu McGee, Malachi Tia, Luke Bidouin, Vice Captain Star of the Year, magnificent player. His last game today, James Hamblin, scored a brilliant try against St Peter, Saffin to Wairoa Brown. The whiz kid on the reserves bench, such a tremendous talent. Kevin, our New Plymouth team.
Rightio, and New Plymouth Boys High School wearing jersey number 16. A loose head prop will be Ian Wong. He's a year 13 student. Last game today for him. At hooker will be Sean Matuku, also a year 13 boy. The tight head prop will be Tualu Afa Tarumanu. So the front row is all year 13, which is where you need some of your experience. The two locks are Brody Leicester, he's a year 11 boy, got a lot of promise. And Jake Dingle, year 13. The back row is Flynn Bryant on number 6, blindside flank, also a year 11. Bo Henderson, year 12 at number 7. And one of the most promising players New Plymouth Boys High has produced as of late, Luke Goodman at number 8, a year 11 student. Watch out for him. Very promising, very direct in his running, good tackler, got all the ball skills. At number 9 is Harry Fever, at last year at school here, year 13. Jason McGregor, a year 12. He'll be running the cutter at number 10. Midfield combination, 12 and 13, both co-captains, Jack Wiseman, year 13, and Liam Davis, year 13. The left wing will be Vili Roma. He scored 4 tries in the drawn game against Palmerston North Boys High a few weeks ago, a very explosive runner. Jackson Steele at 15, the fullback, also speedy, and also Braden Nielsen, the son of Mark Nielsen, ex-Taranaki rep, year 13, right wing, who also is the athletic champion and quick. So most of the backline for the New Plymouth Boys High School team are year 13 boys, and they will show their experience today, I believe, in this impact. Players, Sione Ohilehi as a prop will come on later on. Sam Graham, Kerry Ralston, Jai Hine, Locke, Nart Word will come on at probably 6 or 7. Romero Harmy, halfback, also a son of former Hurricanes and New Zealand Sevens, Brendan Harmy, and Tan Nelly at 10 or 12. So they've got some experience off the bench. The coaches, Ray McDonald and Chris Luke. Strength and conditioning coach is Liam Younger. Manager, great bloke, Simon Rangiwaha. And their sponsors, WR Phillips, BTW, Bounceback Physio, and Wear Tour. So looking forward to a great game here today, Ben.
Well, Gisborne Boys with a couple of big wins to start, 32-0 over Mount Maunganui College, and then Tangaroa College, 38-0, then into the tough stuff against De La Salle, Kelston, a couple of A1 schools for you, Fielding, Hutt International Boys after that. Gisborne Boys last win on the field against Hutt International Boys Skill, 37 points to 0, and Gisborne Boys about to make their entry here. It's hard to believe that it has been 54 years since the Gisborne Boys High School first 15 ran out here under Phil Duncan. Won that game 12-6, the biggest crowd in the history of the rectory, 7,000 people here way back in 1970, shortly before their tour of Australia, the school's first tour of Australia. And that haka, Gisborne Boys High School, New Plymouth, going to see that.
Some phrases you might hear today.
Absolutely.
Futupolu, rugby, kaitakaru, players, puru, or kawawao as a referee, kaima takitaki, spectre, tak, puru, taki, pry line, fellas, and yeah, maka pass and whana kick.
Well done, fellas.
There is an air of solemnity here at the rectory as New Plymouth players come forward, place their caps upon the ground. Moment being observed. There is a rare tension here, but also a camaraderie.
Captain Punahihi.
Kevin, just for a moment to you for a second, the value of a cap. What does a first 15 rugby cap mean to a young New Zealander?
Oh, it's a huge honour to be presented with a cap. I believe one or two of your players have received their caps this year. You had 14 debutants this year. They'll be looking forward to getting the number of caps or games they needed to receive that honour. Both schools, treasure the caps they receive. I believe Puni Hini has played over 50 caps for Gisborne Boys High first 15. That's a huge number of games over 3 or 4 years. A four-year term in the first 15. I mean, there's boys in the Plymouth Boys High who have played for 3 years as well, who, earning their cap is such a huge honour.
So the scene has been set and Gisborne Boys ready to go at it here with New Plymouth. New Plymouth going to kick off, so we're told, towards the rectory break. Nielsen on the right wing for them has scored 4 tries. On the left wing for the Rotorua, 6 tries, 4 tries against Palmerston North.
It certainly was. It was, I think, 17 all at half time and 34 all at the end. And you're right, fully right. 4 tries in that game. And Palmerston North only got that win in the last 2 or 3 minutes. It was a bit of a disappointing end result from the team, but they did, and they scored under the post, converted, and it was a 34 points all draw. So that was a drawn game that New Plymouth had during the Super 8 season, and they had a win last week against Rotorua. So they're in prime form now to play a good game of rugby today.
New Plymouth Boys High School and Gisborne Boys High School at the Rectory Ground. Ben O'Brien, Leaf, Tobias Horsfield, Kevin Gledel. It's wonderful to have Kevin here, somebody with a dual perspective. Not that we're in New Plymouth, black and white from left to right, Gisborne Boys to receive. And they have some guys who are full of running today. Impala Waipara, centre 3/4, ball dipped to him. Match referee is Matt Smith. Ably assisted on the sideline. You've got Royce Maynard down there on the far side. Referee with grand final experience. A fine touch under a little bit of pressure. Kevin, straight away.
Yeah, right.
Good pressure.
Yeah, right from the kickoff, New Plymouth put a lot of pressure on the Gisborne Boys High team. Camped them in their own 22. They'll have to throw to this line out. First opportunity now to see what New Plymouth was to bring to this game. They need to get the ball cleanly in the middle. Brodie Leicester will probably do that. Plenty of movement now. The ball is taken down cleanly.
The art of the line out as showcased here by New Plymouth Boys. Early going. Around about 2 minutes into the game. There's the clearer from Fever.
Nice structure shown from New Plymouth here as they work the short side, bringing some of their big forwards into action early.
Well, they've also been awarded the first penalty here by referee Smith. Well, hang on, he's swung the arm around. New Plymouth a little perplexed, I think. They thought the penalty, Kevin, was going to them. Kevin, what happened? Tell me.
I'm not quite sure what happened. I was thinking it was New Plymouth's tap and go as well, Ben, but penalty's been given to Gisborne Boys and they'll clear the touch and glad to get out of their danger zone.
Well, Impala Waipara has found good touch there, Tobias. Tobias, are you able to enlighten us about our man Impala Waipara and what you've thought of the rugby that he's played this season? Impala
Waipara. Oh, I can tell you a lot of things, Ben. I can tell you that he's keen. He's eager to play. I've watched Impala play for a few years now. He started playing, I think, under 14s, under 15s, and then he's come in and made his way into the first 15. But he's had an awesome season this year, Ben. Awesome season.
Well, Nahihi there with a good pass up. Gisborne Boys with some structure as far as halfway. Crowd on its feet. Well, 3 of us anyway. So, over halfway now, Gisborne Boys. That's Liam Beattie tumbling the ground with a pass to Hihi. Gisborne Boys now pushing on the left with some structure, with some pace, with Tauranga Leach Waihi. New Plymouth defence is safe, sound, sure. Gisborne Boys again, Franco Ludwig, the big South African there, with a good hard run. There's the hooker Mohini, good effort from him down the sideline. Blindside rush by Mohini. No score yet in the game. Beattie away to Ludwig, nice pass, Ludwig. Great pass from him, helped Gisborne get across the line last weekend. Kaurangi Leach Waihi. And now a penalty here to New Plymouth. Gisborne Boys held on. So he's consistent right at the start, Kevin. Earlier on, New Plymouth held on, they were pinged, and now Gisborne Boys are pinged for the same thing.
Very impressive passage of play there shown from Gisborne Boys High. They've strung together some good phases and got a nice little half break and kept the continuity going, but just when they needed to get into about their 4th or 5th phase, they incurred a penalty, which but it does show Gisborne Boys High intent this afternoon. They're keen to run. They're going to be direct in their contact and ball carries, and they showed some flair in the back line. Been very impressed.
This modern rugby, Kevin, it's hard to break a team from these days. You have to be able to control the ball for quite a while.
And unstructured players, where I think you'll see some of the action today when we've gone past their phases and we get a bit of unstructured play. Both teams have got athletes who can use the space wisely, and I'm expecting to see a bit of that today.
Okay, Matuku, the New Plymouth line-out is in good nick, and very good passer, Fever. Gisborne Boys coming up to make some big hits sometimes in the attempt or the desire to make a big hit. You can miss the odd first-up tackle. New Plymouth there with the ball. Look penetrative too. They've got some pace. That's what they've shown, and they've played some very, very good rugby this season. There's no doubt about it. You have a look at their record, giving some teams a real run for their money. Palmerston North tell you that. Of course, with wins, with big wins as well. That is those Super 8 teams made trips to the gully, I think. New Plymouth have only had 2 away games this season, Kevin, this being one of them. Okay.
Good continuity there shown from the New Plymouth side to move the ball left to right. You may have noticed their right winger, that's Braden Nielsen. He was involved in the play on the far side of the field, and when it came back his way over this side, almost got to dot down the first try, but they're certainly moving the ball.
Tana Bristow, good take there at the line-out. Gisborne Boys weren't held. Took a moment, I think, to take stock of that, realised that they weren't held. Get up, go again. Impala Waipara with all eyes on him. High ball. Nielsen underneath it, one of the country's best young finishers, though the pass is a scruffy one. Ball bounces, goes loose. Matt Smith keeping up with play, keeping an eye on some of these passes. Rover over there, the danger man with 6 tries, a 4-try game. Many wing three-quarters don't have a game like that in their lives, and he had one this season. It's Super 8 level. It's a high standard. Gisborne Boys having to make some tackles here now. New Plymouth, you can expect structure, you can expect discipline, you can expect Fever to keep them under pressure.
I agree, Ben. You can expect all of that, and you've just seen evidence of it there, how they moved the ball and they came back, one off the ruck and so on, and, you know, getting their wingers involved. Any counter-attack opportunities that Gisborne provide, they will move it. You saw the players get back into counter-attack and then moved it across the track and just trying to test the Gisborne Boys High defence, but getting into sport and getting good continuity.
Tobias, your expression, if you could give us your version of how well Gisborne played last week against Tauranga Boys College. Can you give us that in the rail? That'd be brilliant. That'd be magic.
I'm still shocked from that game. Thrilling game. Score at half time was Tako and 0-8. And then there was a part there, it was 12-10. Boys High came back into it, and everyone was on their seats, but the Tauranga was just too good. But yeah, it was definitely an awesome game for Boys High last week, Ben.
Yeah, their best game of the Super 8 season so far. Their best game of the Super 8 season that we're going to remember. The forward pass. One or two of these minor errors, Kevin, these little things.
Yes.
The ball on the ground, for instance, the odd drop. You can't really afford to make mistakes.
No, you can't. And I mean, both teams are trying to play an expensive game, and mistakes will occur from time to time. They're trying to get good support players, and it just doesn't connect from time to time. And but hey, they're trying to spread the ball wide, and they're trying to enjoy their rugby, and they're doing a good job. Both teams at the moment playing some good rugby. Good defence and good attack from both teams.
One of the wonderful things about Whakata Māori, big on these young guys enjoying themselves.
There you go, that's Luke Goodman, as I said. First try coming up shortly, perhaps.
He's a top player. Goodman got a couple of Super 8 tries this season already that I know of. And over in the corner there, New Plymouth. This very, very powerful entity, and it's a lock forward, a well-deserving player, the big guy, Jake Dingle. Dingle over there in the corner. Kevin, explain that to us. What did New Plymouth do? How did they do it?
Well, you saw off the back of the scrum, beg your pardon, Luke Goodman, very powerful runner, made 10, 15 metres, offloaded in the tackle. They kept the continuity going. When the ruck came, just a couple of passes wide, and the good support play was there. And Jake Dingle, yes, a year 13 player over in the corner for the first try, but it just shows you the value of support play and hard direct running off the back of the scrum, Ben.
There's no substitute for good, solid basics. That's what you saw there. New Plymouth in a good position and making the most of it. That was really their first try-scoring opportunity, and they took it. You never know how many you're going to get or how many you're not going to get, Kev.
I think this is Harry Fever, the goal kicker, spending a bit of time concentrating on his lineup and run. He now moves forward. Nice strike of the ball. And yes, the concentration level there was pretty good to ensure he got the kick through the post. So New Plymouth Boys High, they go out to a 7-0 lead.
Well, we talk about the wind. It is windy, but hey, nowhere near as bad as it was at the Gully in 2017. I've been told 120 km/h winds, 3 tries to Gisborne, Jordan McFarlane, Quinton Ingatai, and of course Dylan Hall. Man, that was hell. It rained. It was a test. It was a tester. It is windy a little, but nothing like that. Gisborne Boys to restart. Trailing by 7 points, a converted try. Try to Dingle, conversion by Fever. Plymouth, a well-organised team. Going to see good communication. Going to see good basic passing. Not going to see a lot of splash and dash. Every now and then, but look, as I said before, they're only human. And Kevin, there are nerves, it's cold, sometimes the fingers, they're red. Not every pass is going to stick.
Well, you saw the structure they were trying to set up there. There was almost a no-look pass with a guy coming around the corner to take the ball, but unfortunately there is a bit of wind, as you said, Ben, and didn't quite connect, and he knocked the ball forward. But they're very keen to try some backdoor plays and get players into space when they're coming around the corner, and on that occasion, as you saw, the ball was spilled.
Great to see kids play without fear.
Oh, yes, indeed. They're well coached.
Liam Beattie there with a good run. Halfback, good play here. So Gisborne Boys, first time they've been in the attacking 22, and they're running into one another. They'd be a little bit disappointed with that. But Tobias, you know these guys. Can you tell us, in terms of how fired up they would be, in terms of how much they're prepared to give of themselves? How much will these guys give of themselves?
Well, it's got to show, Ben. After last week's game, you could tell that, unfortunately, let anything get in their heads. Not going to let anything stop their momentum, because they're playing awesome right now.
Frustrating, brother, frustrating. Not going to let anything faze them. Okay, Fever. Plymouth, good ball carriers, make good meters. Strong lads as well, to be honest. There's that back door pass again. Kevin, see that? The back door. Okay, and diving, go back and get it there, Jackson Steele. And sometimes it's a matter of the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing.
Well, in some cases too. I mean, they've put themselves under pressure with that backdoor pass there. Once again, didn't connect, and the opportunity is now with Gisborne Boys High with the scrum to actually, test the New Plymouth defence, and I'm sure they will. So, being a little bit careless in their own 22 has cost New Plymouth the chance to get out of their danger zone.
As a rugby player, if you're Gisborne, you're at the right end. If you're at New Plymouth, if you're in New Plymouth's camp, you're at the wrong end. Here's Liam Beattie now, running half for Quaden Chaffey Cora. Punahihi, run around with Quaden. There's Kaurangi Leach Waihi into the line, and he has been dangerous this season. He's really shown many of his wares at just the right time. Good stuff. That was a Tavaki moment ago. Strong stuff is that Punahihi to ground. So solid. He could play anywhere in the forwards. Wow. Look at that. Liam Beattie took one on the bridge of the nose. Make your eyes water, Gisborne. That's a little kick there from Liam Beattie. That doesn't count, though. That doesn't count as a tap. That doesn't count as a tap. By the way, I also don't think he was on the mark. But Kevin, they're looking to get on with things quickly. That's what you've got to do. Time waits for no man. I
agree, and opportunity was lost there. I thought the referee may have allowed him to just tap and go, but he obviously was ahead of the mark, and he's got to come back for the scrum. But I agree. I mean, you kick for the line out, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting it back. There's a bit of wind here. If there's an opportunity for a tap and go, take it, especially when you're close to the line.
Tell you what, it's a tough gig, the one that referee Matt Smith, Wairoa-based referee, has got. You're always going to please 50% of the people, annoy 50% of the people. You're going to, the truth of the matter is when it comes to doing what he's doing with the whistle, you can please all of the people some of the time, some of the people all of the time, but you're never going to please all of the people all of the time.
Well spoken there, Ben. That's exactly right. But referees do their job, and they need it in this game, and they try to keep it flowing and give opportunity for players to enjoy the game.
Yep. Tavaki now, that's definitely, that's gone forward, obviously. Once again, Kevin, I shouldn't ask because I don't know enough about it, but I thought New Plymouth might have been allowed to pick that ball up and see what came next.
Yeah, well, that could be an opportunity lost for the New Plymouth team. They could have scampered away. I mean, the ref didn't have to perhaps blow his whistle just then, but once he's got the whistle in his mouth and he's done it, it's job over. You've got to go back and have that scrum. But it's a good chance for New Plymouth now to try and put some structure together in their exit plays and get out of their danger zone and then try and put some good phases together from the contact zone.
Well, you pinch yourself, there are things in a game as a player you wish you could do again. Same for an official. They're only human as well. Look at the big guy, Goodman getting it away. Beaver. Tobias, Gisborne boys have spent a long time at this end. Now, at the moment so far, they've got nothing to show for it. But the fact that they're at this end, it's a good sign.
Yes, definitely been in a trade last week. The boys, they were playing most of the half on their side of the field, and what came from it, every time they were on their side, doesn't matter if it took 20 minutes, half an hour, the whole half, they still got to try. They still got on the board. So for boys, they just need to calm down, take a breath and
be persistent.
Yeah, they can score from here.
Okay, Gisborne boys now. Quaden Chaffey Cora, who's a strong guy for first five. He can break a tackle, he can run. He can create space. There's Liam Beattie. Man, he's gutsy, Liam Beattie. He's not a big lad, but he's got a huge heart. Heart as big as a house. Now penalty, Gisborne.
Tap and go opportunity here for Gisborne if they wish to take it. But you're right that Liam Beattie made a little short break, putting the pressure on New Plymouth. Gisborne deciding what to do now with this penalty opportunity. They are going to go for the touch.
He reminds me, Liam Beattie, so much of another outstanding young man. That outstanding young man's name is Braden Grant, who originally was in the side, I think back 2017, 2018 as a halfback, then moved to wing fullback and has gone on from there. As all these players, God willing, will go on. It's a Gisborne boys line out, of course, for the penalty. Ball thrown in, and they have line-out ball. That was always going to be one of the critical things against the very tall New Plymouth line-out. They're also very high in terms of body position. They get to ground, it's a ruck, and that's good news as far as Gisborne boys are concerned. They got to ground, but not quickly enough. New Plymouth there, very good defensively, Kevin. Gisborne won the ball, but then they stopped the man.
Yeah, they certainly did get in there and get their hands on the ball. I think it'll be one or two of their locks who got in there over the ball and prevented them from going to ground and even getting forward momentum. So I think they will win the opportunity to feed the scrum right on their own goal line. Yes, it is Harry Fever about to feed the scrum. They need to get out of this danger zone quick. They're starting to play a little bit of, silly rugby in their own 22, I believe, and errors have occurred. So they've got to get the ball downtown and start afresh. Good scrum from Gisborne Boys High there.
Looks like a tough number, that Fever. But I tell you what, they can break New Plymouth. They are fast, they are quick, they can run. And they're full of running. They've come to the rectory, boot the ball. Wonder whether you might have kept that in hand. And there, Mackay, the 2-try scorer of last week, their hero against Tauranga Boys College, back on hand to save the day. Where there's a Mackay, there's a way. Good, strong stuff. Gisborne Boys forwards now almost to halfway again. New Plymouth making a strong break. Now Gisborne Boys trying to get to halfway again. Storm Napier on hand and support. Excellent play by Storm Napier. There in support. So's Ludwig. Okay, Kaurangi, Leach, Waihi. Gisborne Boys burrow hard. They get low, hard. Body position, so important. Very important. Punahihi.
Parahuti ana te haere a Punahihi. Strong run from Punahihi.
Punahihi, fantastic. Punahihi almost to halfway. Guys with their hands up. Wanting a decision? Well, they got the decision, not necessarily the one they wanted, but hey, ask and you shall receive.
It's kaumātua.
Upraised hands there, given, and so Mr. Smith blew his whistle.
Oh, I was very impressed with that breakout from New Plymouth Boys High School. They played out to number 12, which would have been Jack Wiseman, and he's the co-captain, and he made a break and he linked up with their supporting players and kicked downtown, but Gisborne got back and gathered the ball and prevent a possible opportunity for the New Plymouth team to strike again. So they're right in this game and they're keen to do well. Both teams are playing some good rugby.
Liam Beattie there, I think just being checked up by a medic. May have hit his head going down. Kevin, I know that the health of the players is everything. But you try telling a rugby boy he's got to come on. You try telling him in the last Super 8 game of the season, sorry young man, you're year 13. This is going to be your last Super 8 game, but you've got to come on. I don't like your chances. That they are powerful, New Plymouth with ball in hand. They make good ground. That's a magnificent tackle there by Ludwig. Excellent work, Fever. Watch out for first five McGregor too. He scored a brilliant try against Tauranga Boys College. Penalty here, New Plymouth. Offside play.
Well, I think it was their third player out from the back of the ruck there. Got up ahead of the last man of the ruck, and the referee saw that and penalised him. But Gisborne do have to get off the line quick and put New Plymouth under pressure if they're going to have any chance of turning over the ball. But on that occasion, just a little bit too frisky and been penalised.
Tell you what, you talk about some magnificent characters and contributors to the game. Kevin, I'm sure you're aware over there, Graham Torrey, who coached the team in 1988 that won the top four. Next to him, I think Colin Ticky Yates, I see there. Guys who loved rugby all their lives, specifically Boys High rugby.
Oh, certainly. I've got a lot of time for Graham Torrey. We went to school together and we had a chat just prior to this game. And he was telling me about the moment that you just talked about there, that 1988 team that were so successful. And, great bloke and a great coach, Graham.
24 points to 15. They beat Napier Boys in the top four final at McLean Park. They were chucked the lifeline. They thought their season was over. Qualified from Rugby Park. Away they went and got the job done. And
this looks promising, Ben.
It does. With some good breakouts here, Gisborne Boys, with some backs at pace. And these guys are dangerous. You've seen Boot put the ball. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Kaurangi Leach Waihi has scored an incredible try. Kaurangi Leach Waihi. He swooped from out of the clouds. He chased. He had to run round people. He ran in between people. He had to jump over people and got there. Kevin Gledhill, that's not a try. That's a try for the human spirit.
Oh, what a great try that was, Ben. I mean, when the breakout occurred, I mentioned to you, it looks like promising opportunity here for them. And when it got out wide, they'd made the early break, kick and chase, and he just showed some real wheels to dot down in the corner. So excellent try, Gisborne. You're right on this game. Your heads are up now, the crowds are behind you. And, that's tested New Plymouth defence out wide, so well done.
Engari anō te tere a Kaurangi Leach Waihi anō nei ko Geordie Barrett. What a try. Geordie Barrett does stuff like that, guys. But Kaurangi Leach Waihi, what a try. What a first try from Gisborne Boys High.
He's a lot like Liam Beattie, you know. Around the country these days, they tell me you've got to be 95, you've got to be 95, you've got to be 100 kilos and bulky to play the game. No way. You just saw from Liam Beattie on the sideline and from Kaurangi Leach Waihi that if you love the game, if you get fit, if you work, if you improve, if you develop your skills, you can do it. Now, Impala Waipara, this for
Whana.
7-all.
Unfortunate from Impala.
Well, Kevin, you've seen a couple of tries already. You saw the big guy Dingle. You saw that from Kaurangi Leach Waihi. You couldn't get two more different tries, but brilliant.
Oh, both teams are here to play the game, and they certainly want to finish their Super 8 campaign on a high. And I think Gisborne currently probably lying in 8th position. If New Plymouth win today, they could probably get up into 6th, though, although the competition ladder doesn't seem very good. They're playing some good rugby here this afternoon or this morning, and we've seen two very good tries being.
Punahihi there running hard, getting to the 22. New Plymouth's defence has been good, though. I've got to be honest. That last try that Gisborne scored was the result of brilliant, innovative back play, off-the-cuff stuff that we talked about before. That wasn't a lapse in defence. That was just amazing from Kaurangi Leach Waihi. And now with a chance, Timuaki Stewart towards the sideline. That is a wonderful tackle. Wonderful tackle. And again, that was your blindside flanker, Flynn Bryant. Magnificent by Flynn there. There's Ludwig not wanting to take a no for an answer. Around about 3 metres outside the 22 now. So Gisborne trailing by 2 points. Punahihi wanted to free the arms up there. You could see what was coming. That was Liam Beattie. Away to Tavaki. Tavaki has this way of wriggling by would-be tacklers. Defenders now back to Impala Waipara from inside his 22. And a big whistle there from referee Smith.
They're very impressed with the structure that Gisborne Boys High showed there. They just worked the old short side, 1 or 2 passes wide of the ruck. You know, setting up a good structure, having some good ball carries going forward with strength, you know, testing New Plymouth defence. And then an exit play back to their 10 to kick for touch. They've got the penalty now, and so they need to clear for touch and make sure it is in touch and not give the Boys High from New Plymouth an opportunity to counter-attack, as we've already seen them do today 2 or 3 times.
Do you think this game's going to break open, Kevin? Do you think it's going to crack wide open like an egg? You think they're going to run from end to end? I can smell it.
They've certainly got players who can do that, especially if you give them plenty of space. And we've got some real speedy wingers, Billy Rover and Braden Nelson. So that's a nice kick for touch.
They got us last year. Once was enough. Broke my eyeglasses. I can remember it. Throw to come. Very good, Mohini.
4-man line-out chosen for Gisborne Boys High, but not deemed to be straight. Certainly down their own players' line. Good opportunity to attack now for New Plymouth.
Okay, New Plymouth Boys High School. This entire front row, exactly like Gisborne's front row, Kevin. These 3 guys, their last year at school, Ian Wong, Sean Matuku, Tualota Torimana.
Well, it starts up front, as we know, Ben, and the front row is so crucial. And both forward packs have year 13 boys on their front row. As we watch the scrum go down, nice steady scrum from New Plymouth.
Beaver got that pass away, a good one to McGregor. New Plymouth with some good strong carries.
And that was Jack Wiseman on the cut play there as he took it forward as they now move it out wide. Billy Rover's got the ball on the far side. Looking for the in-pass.
A little bit of a scrappy period.
Just went forward, I believe, Ben.
A little bit of a scrappy period. Over there, hey, in the background, Barry Ngata, one of the great guys at Gisborne Boys High School who does so much behind the scenes for junior rugby, for development teams, you know, putting up goal pads, you know, putting out the lines. That's a guy, the chap with the spectacles, you can see the sunglasses, that just does so much. A magnificent contribution that he makes to the school. Look at him, he's still going.
It's important you mention those people, Ben, because as you know, in rugby, it doesn't just happen because you want to play a game. There's so many people behind the scenes, as you say, setting out the fields, getting things ready, and we need those people in the game, and well done and thank you.
Well, that's Punahihi again. Excellent defence from New Plymouth. I talked about their tackling, and their tackling, first up tackling, particularly two-man tackling, is excellent. The philosophy they're going to try and hold somebody up. Okay, and Gisborne Boys under pressure now on their own goal line. And Pala Waipara, he got out of dodge for the moment.
Counter-attack opportunity here for New Plymouth.
And here comes Nielsen. Gisborne Boys going to have to make some important tackles now. That last pass had gone. They really were in trouble. So New Plymouth, with good ball in a good position midfield, they could go either way if they can get to ground. Referee Smith, who's been very judicious in his handling of both teams at the ruck, making sure that they're tidy. Oh, good stuff. Well, almost got through there, McGregor. Half a space. New Plymouth want the ball. They're up by 2, and with good hands out wide, New Plymouth, I thought they were certain to score. They've still got a penalty. They had a tap. They're going to, well, are they going to score here? Can they get it to ground? It doesn't seem likely. It seems unlikely that they would be able to get the ball to ground from that position. And so Gisborne Boys there with fantastic defence.
Well,
it all seemed lost. Kevin, they made the tackle.
Yeah, well, that was Luke Goodman just using initiative on that opportunity from the penalty, tap and go, and he went straight to the goal line, but just couldn't get the ball over the dot, and it was held up. But, you know, New Plymouth showing all of the skills, though. I was very impressed with their midfield play there earlier to get to that position where they came around the corner and put players into space and very direct running. And when the counter opportunity came, you noticed the 14, Braden Nielsen. Look, there was about 10 metres in front of him. No Gisborne Boys High player got anywhere near him. They've got to get off the line, especially on counter-attack, and close down the space. Otherwise, they'll be cut loose by some of those speedsters that New Plymouth have.
It began with Goodman. Scored the first try of their season 3 minutes into game 1. Goodman shouldn't surprise anybody either. He's a class act, and obviously, too, a quick thinker. Eight men tend to be.
I mean, we're talking about Luke Goodman here, Ben. He's a Year 11 student, and he's made the Chiefs under-18 squad. Pretty rare for a player of that age to be, you know, brought up into that calibre of team. This is Leicester taking it forward. Jersey number 4. New Plymouth looking likely now as they try and get their pods into action.
Okay, Gisborne Boys being asked to make some tackles here, to tackle and tackle and tackle again. Good hands, New Plymouth showing so much patience. They're showing patience and a willingness to work. But on that occasion there, Kevin, they weren't really going forward. There was ball movement sideways, but they weren't going forward.
Another counter opportunity here for New Plymouth. Gisborne have to shut down that space. Kick and chase. Good kick and chase there, but out to touch, but in a good field position. But yes, you're right, Ben. They were going a bit lateral, New Plymouth team. And just that final pass knocked on. There's been a few errors like that already in this game. They're certainly trying to move the ball wide and get players into space and play to their strengths and get those speedy wingers involved. But there's just been 1 or 2 errors, but not too bad.
One of Gisborne Boys' great sportsmen, Thomas Nuku down there on the sideline is AR2. Royce Maynard is AR1. Controlled 2 grand.
Nice clean take in the line out there from I think that's Brody Lester. They get the more going forward, Ben, take over.
Okay. New Plymouth Boys High School up by 2, as I said, came close to scoring a little while ago. The 8-man Goodman. Okay. Gisborne Boys breathe a sigh of relief. That's Dwayne Heahy coming forward.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate, but
you can see the effort going in. You can see the desperation. They're playing with desperation.
Yeah, both teams on attack and defence. They're really putting it on the line today. You know, as you said, Ben, 10 players from New Plymouth Boys, I believe, and 12 from Gisborne Boys playing their last game in year 13. And I believe also, Ben, there's been 14 debutants that made their first 15 debut for Gisborne Boys this year, and maybe some of them are playing today and getting a real taste of Super 8 rugby.
Yeah. Now, Tobias, there's a program at Gisborne Boys called Tauranga. It's about building good guys, good character. The values that espouses, that you're seeing out here, what are the values, those Tauranga values that you're seeing from Gisborne Boys here?
So Tauranga, so you got courage. So you think about our values, you think about courage, integrity, excellence, all that. So Tauranga is about becoming a man. These boys some of them have even gone through without a role model in their life, and you can tell right now that look at them now. They're striving. They're in the first 15. They're playing their last game of the season. This is Super 8 level rugby, and for the boys, Tauranga is special to them.
Well, I tell you something. This game is being keenly fought. The scoreline tells you everything. Tells you that 7 points to 5, 2 tries, 1 to Dingle. That's a magic try. And we mentioned the fact that Jake Dingle is one of the guys playing his last Super 8 game today. Kevin, to score a try in your last game for the school, obviously the ultimate's to score it at home. Okay, Gisborne Boys haven't found touch. Dingle scored 1, and that's a nice pass in field from Nielsen. Nielsen just looks so dangerous every time he touches it. That's a Quaden Chafikora. Ball takes a high bounce off the turf here. We have had rain, but it's not a boggy ground at all. It never is. Is this Nielsen again? Yes, Nielsen trying to get away from Chafikora. He's got long legs. He can certainly stretch out, break the tackle. Great play there by Nielsen. Over halfway, so Braden Nielsen with a fantastic burst down the sideline. Timwaki Stewart trying to catch him up. Trying to catch up with him. Unselfish pass. Oh, brilliant stuff. So New Plymouth Boys High School, right there, right at the end. I don't know if you had to give the last pass, Kevin, but that's what New Plymouth are all about. Good team players.
Oh, certainly, Ben. What a try we've just seen at the rectory this afternoon. I mean, Braden Nielsen, when he got that ball from the misdirected kick from the Gisborne Boys High player, there was nothing else in his mind but just it was going to take off. No matter who was in front of him, he broke tackles left, right and centre. Very, very quick player. He could have scored the try himself. The Gisborne players were just struggling at space to try and tackle him. Well-deserved try in New Plymouth Boys High. You cannot give New Plymouth Boys High players in their back three any space, as you've seen there. Unselfishly, he handed it on to another player to score the try, but well done, Braden Nelson. You did a lot of good work there, and well done.
Well, Gisborne Boys, 1 try, New Plymouth 2. Braden Nielsen, you'd love to call that an individual try, but he handed the ball off. It's the mark of a man. Conversion is there, so it's 14 points to 5. Tobias, as a youngster coming into this environment, not Super 8 for a second, but Gisborne Boys High School, a school with a high percentage of Māori students. What was that like? And how'd they welcome you?
Core imitating. Very, very imitating for first day. All the Māori teachers, Te Reo Māori, Kai Whaloa, Waramu Ka, George Wharehinga, all of them, they welcomed us in with bright hearts. Our first thing was they taught us the haka. He toa, he toa. And it translates to our school song.
Flush it, flush it.
He toa, he toa. So it's literally that. So for all of us Tāne, that winter Tauranga Tāne.
Sense of belonging?
Yeah, sense of belonging for all of us, for us to belong somewhere that accepts Māori culture, and we learn a lot about it. Because Gisborne Boys High School, we're not a kura kaupapa Māori, but the things that we learn, it's pretty cool stuff, pretty awesome stuff.
Okay, so Gisborne Boys have the ball, line out drive here, and it is a strong one. So Gisborne Boys down at the moment by 9 points. Remember, 2 converted tries as against 1 try, 9-point gap. Gisborne Boys retain possession. Some hard running from Punahihi. He has had to do a lot of work already today, Kevin, as a captain. Every single game, Tavaki getting that out wide. I think that was Mackay. Mackay was fantastic last time out here. Gisborne Boys making more good ground. Their forwards have worked hard and they've been very effective in the last little while. Under advantage now, penalty here from referee Smith. They've got to make the most of this. They've shown that they can score 1 try. Franco Lodberg has been very energetic, very purposeful out there. And certainly he's played well. He's carried the ball well, tackled well. Good when you see your tight 5, Kevin, make tackles.
Yes. Oh, yes, indeed, Ben. And this is where the Gisborne Boys team must make this field position count. They've got the line out throw. They must get everything correct now. What's important now for every player is to do their job well, get the ball down, set them all going, try and do it with the forwards first, and if not, then bring the backs into action. But it's a very key, important part of this game, this particular moment. But they've been penalised, it looks like. No, the referee's come back with another. Yes, it is. New Plymouth,
I think
New Plymouth have the ball. They were penalised, Gisborne. Lost opportunity there.
Okay.
Broken play, unstructured play, and New Plymouth very good at this.
New Plymouth Boys High School have the ball here, and they're putting a lot of boot to ball. Remember, they have the wind in the first half on the long roll away from Kaurangi Leachwaihi. They're playing a clever game. New Plymouth at half-time. It's 14 points to 5. 2 tries to 1. Kevin Gledhill, Gisborne Boys versus New Plymouth. What have you thought of it so far? How's it shaping up?
Well, it's shaping up as a very good contest. I mean, New Plymouth are ahead, as you said, 14 points to 5, and they've had opportunities galore in this game. They've coughed up a few, but on the other hand, Gisborne, when they've had the ball in hand too, they've looked very promising, and they've had some good opportunities to score points. The try that we did see was a brilliant individual try. So we've got a great contest there. I reckon it's going to go all the way. Gisborne will have the win in the second half. She's not over yet, folks. It's going to be a good second half.
Kaore, rika rika ana ngā mihi kia koutou katoa. Kua tai a tātou ki te hauruatanga o te kemu nei. Engari anō te maha hoki o te hiringa e rongo nei au mai tātou katoa. Ko te manako ai kai tono mai tātou mō tonga o te kemu. Mā te wā.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through a tough time. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
Hey. Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what New Zealand Carbon Farming are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forest so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this isn't about what we wore back in the day.
We're going to go now. Going once, going twice. No more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Morena, beautiful people.
Look at me. Look at it.
Wow.
Too much.
Sounds ominous.
Keep our kaumatua cool.
Oh, you went all the way to the KKK, eh?
Yeah.
Hurry up!
Okay.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the Rectory Ground in Grand Old Gisborne. And the last Super 8 home game for Gisborne Boys High School, the last hurrah for many of their players and for New Plymouth too. New Plymouth at the moment worthy leaders, 14 points to 5, 2 tries to 1. Side well led by Liam Davis, Jack Wiseman. They've come here, they've done some things very well, New Plymouth. Gisborne Boys have shown just some more of that stunning character and willingness to dig deep, delve, if you will, Matt Smith has run a pretty tight ship. Kevin Gledhill, yourself, Tobias Horsfield and I, we are seeing two of the great teams of New Zealand secondary schools rugby.
Oh yes, indeed. Both these schools have produced All Blacks, many All Blacks. They've had a great history in their rugby. Gisborne Boys High, top school in the 80s and the 90s, well coached over those eras, top four, and they've won, the Super 8 competition. Plymouth has yet to win the Super 8 competition. Their second 15 has won it once. So both of these teams have produced quality players throughout the time that they've been playing the game of rugby. I mean, New Plymouth have had Reuben Thorne, Greg Feek, they're the two latest. The two latest All Blacks we've had, Gordon Slater as well. You can go back, Graham Murray, but hey, Gisborne Boys High School have had a lot of quality players too. Rico and Jose Aguirre are All Blacks that come to mind. We've got Tu Wiley, you've got Mike Parkinson. You can go back over many years, Charlie Narton. They've had some very, very good players have come through Gisborne Boys High School, and James Kerr, the list could go on.
The first attempted restart never happened. It never happened. So restart is again not going to make 10 metres. Going to be option here, New Plymouth. This is where Gisborne was stung last week, Kevin. What happened? A kick didn't go 10 metres, and they elected to go for a quick line out behind halfway, which they're entitled to do.
Well, maybe that wind has changed a little bit, perhaps, and it's no longer, behind them, because it just, I was surprised. Two kicks that didn't meet the 10-metre zone, giving New Plymouth a chance early in the second half. You don't want to give New Plymouth too many chances, and they've coughed one up and given it to them now. Midfield scrum, split back line. They can go anyway. They've got speedsters out wide.
That restart went 5 metres back. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Yes, I've seen it go backwards, obviously not like that.
That's probably me kicking on the daily.
Yeah, that was a Goodman getting one away. New Plymouth again favouring boot to ball. They've got excellent chasers as well. They've got good pace out there to chase it with.
The excellent structure shown there. They could have gone left or right. They chose Luke Goodman off the back of the scrum to actually pass to the short side here, and Jack Wiseman, co-captain, very experienced, number 12 in the team. To Gisborne.
They're clever, New Plymouth.
Yeah, very much.
I think I'm here. But these guys are a different kettle of New Plymouth. Pushing hard. Believe that was a hooker Matuku. Beaver. They are patient, willing to work. Gisborne Boys.
You lost it totally, or?
New Plymouth leading by 9. Up by 9. Fever wants to clear. If they turned it over, penalty Gisborne.
Good defence, Gisborne. Under a lot of pressure there with New Plymouth, really showing all of their drive to try and get across the line. Direct running, but unfortunately they couldn't do it on this occasion. And they've been penalised. Well done, Gisborne.
Well, they were in an ideal attacking position, and unfortunately, not much resulted. Gisborne Boys, you know, the wind has certainly turned right around. And that's something that you've got to, now you've got to look at the tactics you're going to use. You were thinking before the game, even in the first half, Kevin, okay, we're going to have this in the second half, and it ain't so. So you've got to change your tactics a little and how you're going to win the game.
Well, field position is going to be crucial, and now the wind has changed. I'm picking that New Plymouth will try to plug that corner and try and keep Gisborne camped in their own 22. If they get the ball, they've got good ball runners as well, but the field position is crucial to start the game rolling.
Patalesio Tavaki down on the sideline, preparing to come on. Gisborne Boys beat it, getting a pass away. Gisborne Boys with willing runners once again. Punahihi with a strong run. Punahihi has played wonderfully well this season. The attempted clearance is scrambled. New Plymouth, ball a little scrappy, was eventually secured by Steele. New Plymouth now around about 12 metres on their own side of halfway. Now 9 metres out from halfway. Advantage here to Gisborne Boys from referee Smith. Remember, they trail by 9. Gisborne now
good attacking chance here for Gisborne.
They'll probe over there. Timuaki Stewart is a dangerous commodity. He's on the left wing. Okay, Gisborne put it down. No hands to that. Hit him in the tummy and bounced off. Well,
that was what I call a sort of bruising sort of player, one-off runner who took the ball, but he didn't quite connect. As Gisborne now take it forward.
Malossi to a Falialo, Gisborne Boys. Here's Beattie again, pushing on the left-hand side. Mackay waits for the ball. Mackay waits for a chance. Mackay just one more chance. Liam Beattie, nice pass there. Was that Mohini there? Gisborne Boys once more to ground. Going to keep on working on that left side. Going to keep probing away on that left side. Gisborne Boys once or twice. They've been a little high, been held up here by New Plymouth. Excellent defence, trying to force a turnover. No, Gisborne have it. The ball's on the ground. Are they able to recycle possession? They couldn't get it back. Okay, New Plymouth. Refereeing so far, Kevin, has been of a good standard and very consistent.
Yes, indeed, and he's allowed the play to flow, but when there has been a need to, penalise or when there's been a knock on, he's been able to pick it up straight away. But yeah, the game has been allowed to flow, and the referee's a good factor in that. And various substitutes coming on now, some fresh legs.
Well, you can't.
But Gisborne has started the second half pretty well when they've had the ball in hand, left and right, keeping the ball close to their forwards and getting everyone involved. And they have the benefit of this win, we believe, in the second half, perhaps. But it may well have turned around. But they need to be the next team to score, I believe, if they can put New Plymouth under pressure.
It's a firm track today. It's not rock hard as it can be to everybody's cost, but it's certainly firm. And we have seen once or twice, on occasion, referee Smith is tired of waiting for people now. Different times he's insisted to hurry up, and when they didn't, okay, they've turned possession over. Now Mackay, the open side flanker for Gisborne on this side, number 7, scored 2 tries last week against Tauranga. He will treasure those for the rest of his rugby life. Also on the field of play now, I think we've got Luke Bidwa out there. Bidwa, the powerhouse, vice captain at the start of the year. Fever. Full of running. There's that short kick that I told everybody I thought would be the most dangerous. Going for that short kick. Quaden Chafikora there to tidy it up. Quaden Chafikora there, a loose ball situation. Again, going to work on that left-hand side. Malosi Luafalialo. He's to the fore. Gisborne Boys continuing to run. Nice pass. Moment ago from Ludwig. Gisborne Boys got some running going. Getting to ground. They've got big numbers out here on the right. If they can get it there, they've got numbers on the right. Franco Ludwig has a good tight head. Prop does. Full steam ahead. The SS Ludwig. Gisborne Boys, ball is loose. You don't want to lose it forward. Sometimes you don't want to pick it up, just in case you lose it forward. They've been very high a couple of times. You put it the Brawny. Oh, there, Punahihi. He gave a big push and they all fell over. See Punahihi there? Just this little finger, middle of the back. Oh, good hard stuff. Good rugby. No need for a whistle there. It's Bidwa sliding on the turf, he loves it. Mouthful of mud, he loves it. At the moment, 14 points to 5. Nice pass, Punahihi. 3 on 2. Kaurangi Leach Waihi to ground around about 6 metres off the right touch. Matt Smith eyeing the scene. But he's not free. He's by 9. Tavaki. Hihi. Now to the left. It's time to go. Quaden Chafikora. Gisborne get the bell. It's Impala Waipara. Over there to Timuaki Stewart rather. See his head bounce there. Moment down by 9 and the advantage.
This is good play, Ben. Excellent rugby from Gisborne Boys High. Spreading the ball wide, but on that occasion meeting some strong resistance. But I've been very impressed with the last 2 or 3 phases that we've had of Gisborne Boys High. They're really coming to their game now, and they're trying to put a lot of pressure on the New Plymouth team.
New Plymouth Boys High School, good solid rugby. They're rough and they're tough and they're working here. Remember, their school has only won once here in 15 attempts. So New Plymouth driving hard. They won the last game here in 2022. They made history. Can they do it again? Can they add to it rather? There's Ludwig there with a leg drive. It's a lot of little steps. It's a lot of granny steps. You need those baby steps. Gisborne Boys going forward on the left-hand side.
Oh, just to quote you on that one, Ben, just before, like how you were saying at the end, the start of the game, the boys, they're locked in. They're on their side of the field, right by the try line. You can tell now after that first half of play, they're locked in now. They want to win this game, and you can just tell they're willing to put their body on the line to do it.
Well, they've got a chance. You've got to be willing to spill blood. Okay, is that another advantage? I saw referee Smith's arm go out there, but it only went out for a moment. Okay, Ludwig again. Look at them work. Look at Benoit there. The upper body strength is incredible. Penalty there, big whistle. Big whistle, and he's wearing his serious face now, referee Matt Smith, and wants a word. Davis comes forward, I think, to receive instruction from referee
both
Smith.
Liam Davis and Jack Wiseman, co-captains. They're having a chat with the referee now. But very impressive passage of play there from Gisborne Boys High, Ben. They spread the ball left to right. They had all passes stick. They were passing for the player, not to the player. They were running forward, and they had good continuity. So it was a very, very good passage of play. What can they do from this penalty now?
They're going to tap and go, or they're going to what? They can scrum, tap and go. What's it going to be? Kick for line? Well, you can't afford to take all year these days. Malosi Luafalialo's on hand. And here he comes, Malosi Luafalialo with momentum here. Almost got there. He was so close, half a body length out. Malosi Luafalialo, Gisborne Boys on the left. It's a Benoit. I think he was close. How close is close? Not close enough. New Plymouth defend. New Plymouth, stout-hearted New Plymouth with hearts of oak. Hanging on here for dear life at the rectory. Up by 9, but you wouldn't know it. Fighting for their very rugby survival here in the Super 8. Arguably, no, not arguably, probably the toughest competition in the country. Right up there with A1 anyway. Quayton Chaffney-Cora got it away. It's Impala Waipara. That's a fair try. That's a try. Impala Waipara has scored a try. A tremendous try from a young man who doesn't say much, but it's all about what you do. And he's done it. Kevin, he's done it. He scored a try against New Plymouth here at the rectory on this hallowed turf.
And a certainly well-deserved try too, Ben. I mean, they deserved that try. They've been working hard in the last 5-10 phases, and they deserved that try. And when it came out, they just worked hard towards the line, one-off runners, and it had to come eventually. I mean, they worked close to the ruck. They couldn't get through. A couple of passes wide. Excellent try. Well done, Gisborne Boys High. Very, very good try and well put together and well deserved because of the whole team try. They all did their job well, and when it didn't work by around the fringes, it came wide and over for a very good try in the corner.
14 points to 10 now. 14 points to 10. Impala Waipara scored the try. Kaurangi Leachwaihi scored their first. This for 12 to 14.
Unfortunate whana.
Versions up over there, our coaches, Dwayne Hehe and Andrew Boyby.
Tā te pari huti ana te haere a Impala Waipara. Rāranga Pero. 5. 5 points on the board for Impala Waipara. Unfortunate whana, unfortunate kick. Couldn't get those 2 points on the board, but that's all right.
He deserved that, Impala Waipara. These guys sit up, sleepless nights, praying that they play well tomorrow. Well, that was Punahihi going back and received the benefit of the doubt there from referee Smith. I think that was correct. It might look clumsy, but clumsy doesn't necessarily mean forward. That's Luke Benoit battling his way to halfway. Battle truck Benoit. Benoit there. There's a movie from 82. Good stuff. And boot to ball. Gisborne with decent boot to ball, but this wind, I still can't read it, Kevin. What's going on?
This is Billy Raven now looking to find some space. Yes, good pass. Jack Wiseman taking it to ground now. Forwards and over the ruck. Good pass as they set up a pod in the middle.
That's the dominant tackle of Gisborne Boys' game so far.
Good quick ball here as Boys High look to turn around the corner. Yes, they have. It's out wide to the speedster, Braden Nelson. Can he get on the outside of him?
Now, Braden Nelson showed in the first half almost effortlessly, almost unendingly, the way he ran down the sideline. And then with that last pass, okay, New Plymouth on the run with their big front row forwards, and they got some big guys too. Toremana played well today, scrummaged very well. The New Plymouth scrum has been very good all the way through. Gisborne Boys now having to tackle. You don't want to score and then give one up. You can't score one, then give one away. Davis there. Oh, good stuff. Does he get home? Okay, Gisborne Boys getting to him. Advantage here, referee Smith, penalty New Plymouth.
Good passage to play there from New Plymouth Boys High.
14-10, and I got to admit, Kevin, I mean, these days it's the done thing, isn't it, to tap and run, but cooler heads, if they prevail here, New Plymouth, they'd take the shot, surely.
Well, I think they should take the shot. I mean, they've just realised that Gisborne is right back in this game. It's 14 points to 10, you know, take it out to a 7-point differential. I mean, the posts are right close to where the penalty is made. I would suggest they take the shot.
That is good, solid New Zealand rugby. You take the shot. This could be a close game, and at the end, that penalty goal could be the difference. 17 to 10, that's a converted try's worth. What's that old saying, Kevin? You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And a bird in the hand is worth 3 in the bush, I think, or something like that. Okay, there's the penalty goal. 17-10. Just has a different feel about it from a New Plymouth point of view.
It's important now for Gisborne not to drop their heads. They're right in this game. They've got to make sure they finish the last 20 minutes of the game, you know, firing on all cylinders. It's their last on this rectory field for this season, so heads up, Gisborne, you're not out of it yet. Put pressure on New Plymouth and see what can happen.
And got to say a big hi out there to the Collins Puketapu family from New Plymouth who hosted us all those years ago. We loved our time there in New Plymouth, and we were there last year again for the basketball tournament. Tremendous fun. Magnificent place to live. Magnificent way to live, actually. And 17 points to 10. A converted try eludes Gisborne. Over there, that changing room, that red brick. Inside it, the hopes and dreams of generations of Gisborne Boys High School rugby players. Torimana with his back turned to the throw. New Plymouth's line out, like their scrum, has just been really good, well organised. Gisborne Boys, there is that Bedwar again, man, he's merciless. Like a great white shark. Bedwar and Gisborne Boys there have the ball in hand now. Gisborne Boys going to try and force something here. Going to try and force a try. Maybe they don't have to force a try. Maybe what they've got to do is be patient. Bedwar, who was about as close as man can get last time at this end. Bedwar there, good presentation. Hamblin! Oh, he's close. He's around about 1.5 metres out. James Hamblin, who makes a habit of pitching tries. And here, New Plymouth now to counter-attack from their own in-goal area, running into the goal posts and all sorts.
Well, from the boys as well, Ben.
Now, I wonder what's going to happen here. Hamblin, reserve halfback, has come out. Hamblin brings something from the bench. He brings enthusiasm. He brings heart. So does Liam Beattie when he starts. But, you know, these guys, lucky to have 2 of them. Tobias.
Not the bench. Impact players, Ben. Impact players. That's what James is. Their whole impact play. Every time someone comes on, it's impact after impact after impact. Fresh guy comes in, makes an impact.
So I was an impact player for 6th grade back in 1992. Yeah, I was an impact player. I wasn't captain. I wasn't the leading try scorer, but I was
impact
an
players.
Impact player. Okay, Punahihi. Taking on board what referee Smith has said. Okay, Gisborne Boys penalty. I don't really know how this opportunity came about, Kevin.
Well, I'll tell you what it came about. It came about from a 5-man line out New Plymouth Boys had.
Oh, he's there! Luke Bedwar has gotten across there and scored an incredible try. This is a guy who stepped up, led the team twice in the absence of Punahihi when he was out with a left knee injury, I think, from memory and ankle, and got over there. And that is the rugby of the people, for the people, by the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Well,
what a try there.
I'll tell you how that try was scored, Ben. As you said, it started off from a line out that New Plymouth had, a 5-man line out. They had Luke Goodman in the midfield. They tried to have the ball crash. He came into the midfield. Luke Bedwar, as you said, tied him up. They got the ruck ball, and from then they just attacked, got into a position, got the penalty, got the tap and go, and the try was scored. Just simply because of New Plymouth's error, that opportunity was presented to Gisborne, and they took it. Well done, Gisborne.
Right now, your blood would run cold. Impala, Waipara. Don't ever listen to that rubbish about, oh, it's only a game. Well, forget that idea. At the moment, 17 points to 15. New Plymouth up by 2. Gisborne trail by 2.
Crucial kick, this one.
Okay. Vono, he's got it. Okay. Well, 17 all.
We have a game on our hands, folks. 17 all. Well done, Gisborne. Good fight back.
Now, this game is anybody's. I love first 15 rugby. Gisborne Boys High School, fantastic rugby here on Whakata Māori. I can remember being asked years ago, Kevin, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be the Gisborne Boys High School rugby commentator. They said, no, seriously. And I said, that's it. That's the summit of your earthly ambition. What about the All Blacks? I said, what about the All Blacks? And right now, New Plymouth restart. It is 17 all, and it's a humdinger. It really is. Exciting stuff, Gisborne Boys. Now they look a little more composed. Now they look purposeful. Bidwai has made such a difference, Bidwai.
He certainly has, Ben, and those words are so right. They look more purposeful and composed, and they're certainly going to test New Plymouth. They've really got their tails up now.
I love New Plymouth's defence, though, man. Don't they tackle well?
Oh, they come forward, and, two-man tackles. They make, they make sure the tackles are made, but Gisborne are finding space.
Okay, they are. They needed there a little more support play. I don't think anybody really knew what was happening. He took off there. Gisborne Boys have the ball, no knock on. Referees are allowing rugby to be played. Okay, there is, I think that was Bidwai again. Gisborne Boys, Punahihi.
Oh, nice ball there.
Now they're playing constructive rugby. They're putting guys in space. They're playing creatively. They're playing with confidence. This is a new Gisborne side. They've grown 6 inches since the try was scored. Bidwai magnificent. Impala before that. Before that, Tauranga Lichwaihi. They can't afford to turn the ball over here. They get to ground, playing with some desperation.
Oh, a nice pick and go through the middle there.
Okay, and sometimes you got to read.
Oh, look, here it is.
Hamblin again has gone over halfway. Hamblin, it hit a New Plymouth player. Will this be a penalty? It's a Gisborne penalty. But Hamblin, how well did he read the play?
He certainly set that his team alight since he's come on, Ben. Little gaps around the fringes as players are start tiring and just not getting into the ABC positions on defence. He found the gap.
Underestimated Hamblin. He's the sort of player that might escape your notice. But if you look at what he does and what he brings, it's sharpness, it's quickness, it's mental acuity, it's a lot of things.
Gisborne's opportunity now to get some good field position.
They're starting to read the wind a bit better, but it has been changeable. Your thoughts?
What? We're like 15, 20 minutes in then, and I'm shocked. Boys High are playing the game of their season. They're willing to leave everything on the field, and it's going to start here. What I think New Plymouth here to do is just get the ball out wide and just maybe get a short kick in there. Boys High, they just need to get Luke Bidwai, impact player. Every time he's got that ball, he's making meters.
Well, Brody Lester did really well a moment ago to tidy up at that line out. Gisborne Boys had it. You've got to be so accurate now in everything you do. Is that Bidwai there with a driving tackle? He wasn't offside. I was waiting for the whistle of doom from referee Smith, and now the arm goes out, but that was for an infringement later in the piece to halfway New Plymouth. Still under advantage. Okay, they lost the ball forward, but that's... Referee Smith has had a good game. There's the tap and run. New Plymouth Boys, Fever, left side. Here's the big fellow, man. He's played a good one.
Yeah, he has. He certainly has. He come on with a bit of impact, that player.
Fever. That's static ball, you've got to say. You want it a bit quicker than that. New Plymouth there running onto the ball now. Here's Davis. One out wide. Nelly getting a ball back in field, playing with some confidence now. Not exactly reckless abandon, but some confidence as well now. New Plymouth, why not? They are a good team. They're better than their Super 8 record suggests. Fine players. Guys who can go further in the sport. Don't ever question that. Okay. New Plymouth with some structure. Here's Nielsen. Nielsen has been dangerous, and he's posed dangers for Gisborne every time he's touched the ball. New Plymouth being urged here to take another shot at goal. I told you before, Kevin, I thought they did the right thing taking the shot at goal. I stand by that, and I say now that this would be a good thing to do here also, take the shot.
Oh, most definitely. They have to take the shot at goal now at 17 all. This is a very tight contest. And yes, Harry Fever will step forward and try and make this 20 points to 17. He's the main kicker for the season. He's also their halfback. He's a right foot kicker, so yeah, shouldn't be any trouble from this distance.
Seven points today, 28 Super 8 points this season.
It's been an excellent game of rugby though, Ben. It's been great to be here and having the privilege of commentate this game with you, and it's been exciting all the way through. Both teams have shown very good skill.
Well, it stopped raining, Kevin. That's all I wanted. But, you know, that Christmas came early. So, with 28 points, this young man for the season, as best our records bear out. Dingle did well too, I've got to be honest. He scored the first try of the game. He was good. Okay, this is through from Fever, so that's at 30 points for the season now. 19 points to 17.
20 points to 17, Ben.
Okay,
20,
up she goes. 20 points to 17. 20 points to 17, and it has been fast rugby from both teams. Wonder how much more gas they've got in the tank. They play a 15-man game, Gisborne Boys, backs and forwards, all can handle the ball, all run hard. And New Plymouth have been the disciplined outfit that they thought that I thought they would be. Go long there, Vonor, Isamali Vonor.
Good carry up the middle there, as New Plymouth look to spread it now on the short side.
Okay, that's
Billy
a
Rover,
tough pass.
He's caught in possession, but he's still pumping hard to get the ball back for his team.
Tremendous strength. I think that might have been Wiseman. I think penalty now, Gisborne.
Probably held on the ball too long there. It didn't look as though it was immediately isolated, but the penalty has been given. And Gisborne will, you know, put the touch and then try and get a good line-out throw and try and put some real pressure on New Plymouth.
Well, I think what happened there was that the New Plymouth player was held and in danger of being tackled into touch. And you battle hard, you stay in field, but of course you've got to release it. And now 20 points to 17. See the black and red balloons, the support from the public who've turned out here, and they have seen some character in the last fortnight. They've seen Gisborne Boys play their best rugby of the season in the last 2 weeks. And here against the honoured opponents in New Plymouth. Okay, pressure here, and that's going to be ruled have gone out.
Yeah, maybe a knock-on as well. They might have a knock-on first, Ben. I think they have. It's going to be a scrum.
That's interesting. That's the first time that New Plymouth's line-out has really gone a little awry in this game.
Well, they competed against the Gisborne throw, and they got forward and got their hand on the ball. But unfortunately, when I think their halfback, Harry Fever, was trying to pick it up, he knocked it on. So this has gifted Gisborne a good opportunity from the scrum.
Well,
they're obviously discussing what their play might be.
Many, many years ago in that corner, if you remembered of it, Kevin, there was a huge tree. And the theory, I think, from the oldies used to be that you kicked long towards that corner, and because the wind, you know, the tree was in the way, the ball would stop. And if you chased, sometimes you never knew what you might end up with.
Well, it definitely feels like the wind is definitely behind Gisborne Boys at this point. Certainly where we're commentating from, the wind is coming across us and right down to that corner. So the wind seems to be in their favour from the scrum. They'll need to get a good scrum and structure some play from here.
Ask about a word from you, Tobias. This word, kaha. What does it mean? What's its application?
You know, the words need to have mana. Yeah, mana in your heart. Kaha, it's like empty in the tank. The boys got enough, I reckon the boys got enough kaha to take this. Seen from the front row, got Luke Bidwa, Fitu McGee. It's going to be interesting to see how New Plymouth match up against this.
Now,
in the next 10 minutes.
Also crucial here, Kevin, is the referee's reading of the game, because everybody out there in TV land guesses as to why a penalty is awarded or what went wrong or whose fault it was. But as a referee, I don't know if you've held the whistle yourself, but you've certainly coached at a good level. What are you trying to do if you're Gisborne at the scrum, and what are you trying to do if you're New Plymouth?
Well, New Plymouth's going to try and get a nice steady scrum and make it square. Gisborne also wants to make it square, but also wants to get a second, and 8 shunt on it and make sure it's good quality ball at the back, so the number 8's got a chance, as we're seeing now, to come off the scrum to set the first phase, which they've done. Gisborne getting close to the line now.
Okay, Gisborne are getting close to the line. This may be a make or break possession for Gisborne boys. They cannot turn it over from here. They're trying to go through the middle. I thought there might have been an option to push a little to the right. There are only inches in it. This is the craft of the forwards. This is their art, their body position.
Yes, and they're very low and they're pumping their legs, they're latching on. They've got a good opportunity now to cross the line if they do it right.
This is great forward play here from the Gisborne Boys High School first 15. This is their industry. This is their young...
Penalty try, penalty try.
A penalty try there, referee Smith. That is a big call for 22-20 now. Referee Smith there explaining himself to, I think, Davis. 22 points to 17. And of course, these days, Kevin, with a penalty try, the conversion is a given. So it becomes 24 points to 20. New Plymouth Boys High School trying to hold Gisborne on the line there. They pushed to the left a couple of times. Please explain.
Well, it's an automatic 7 points when you get a penalty try, but obviously they fringed in such a way for him to decide that the try would have been scored. It's as simple as that, Ben. And so the referee made that call. It's tough on New Plymouth, but hey, the result was there. It's 7 points now to the Gisborne teams, put them in front.
Well, that's a very pleasant fiction from Gisborne Boys' point of view. They've managed to come up there with a try, an unexpected delight. And right now, that's what he is, Matt Smith, the realm's delight. It is 24 points to 20. It's a 4-point game. Now can Gisborne hang on? They've never been in front of a team. Well, they haven't been in front of a team here for so long. What's it like to have to be in front and have to hang on? Kevin, what do you do here? Do you defend the lead? Do you go
No, you certainly don't defend the lead. You have to attack. You've got to attack with the ball you get. You don't try to defend it. Most good coaches will say that. You've got to attack and, try to win this game.
No ball up the jumper type thing, obviously. Not in this day and age.
I think Gisborne will try to shut New Plymouth down when they have the ball, which is now their opportunity. New Plymouth, there's good pressure being applied.
Okay, it's a loose ball.
There's broken play when New Plymouth are good, but under a bit of pressure and the noise of the crowd, they've coughed it forward, so Gisborne will get the scrum put in. I'm getting excited here, Ben. It's a very good game.
Well, Jackson Steele is gutsy, and the fullback from New Plymouth working hard there. He's certainly not about to take a backward step. Remember, Gisborne boys, their first win in Super 8 rugby for 3 years came last year. It was a 28-24 under Braith Ingram, and now Gisborne Boys High School are up by 24 points to 20. You've got to be prepared to suffer, and you've got to be prepared to be devastated if you're to have a chance to win.
But as you said earlier, Ben, every team that has come to this ground has struggled to actually get a good result or a good differential. Gisborne always fights hard on the rectory ground, and as we've said earlier, Gisborne have beaten New Plymouth Boys High on this ground many times and have a better for and against record, I believe, in wins against.
One thing's for sure, at the end of this game, Kevin, for the black and red team, it's going to be either tears of joy or the other tears. But they're in it right now, and it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved it all. And now they're up by 4.
I'm totally unbiased here. I'm a commentator. I'm not either for any team. I've just been pleased to watch a very good spectacle of rugby, and I hope those who are viewing it have also agreed with us. It's a great game of rugby you've seen here. Both these two teams, 6th, 7th, 8th on the Super 8 chart are giving it all for their school, and a lot of players playing their last game for their school today. So we've witnessed a very good game of rugby.
This has got to be, I think, if it's not the best game in the country today, it's got to be one of the best. It's got to be somewhere. James Hamblin motioning there to Punahihi.
Definitely. Nononki to come for Tauranga Tāne. It's been one of the last nononki's of the game.
Hamblin.
Rua te kau mā whā. Turangatani.
Okay, Quaden got that away there to Kaurangi Leach Waihi, and now Saffin to Wairua Brown. The whiz kid down the sideline, beautiful kick. Gisborne Boys once
Quaden
again.
Shapikora.
Okay, Quaden Shapikora did not win the race there. Tremendous defence. I think that was Jackson Steele getting back there for New Plymouth, flying the flag.
Yeah, great scramble defence there from Jackson Steele to get back and prevent that opportunity for maybe a try for Gisborne.
New Plymouth have shown so much courage, so much heart. They've come here. They've won only one game themselves, Kevin, you were telling me, and of course up against a team with everything to win, nothing to lose, last outing in front of their home crowd. And, you know, as with Nelson, England expects, here Gisborne expects, and they want something. They're up by 4 points now.
Well, as we said before, Ben, both these teams have one more game after this to try to qualify the Hurricanes region or the Chiefs region for the top four. So there's plenty to play for. There's one more game, maybe not on this ground, but there's plenty to play for, and they want to get that opportunity to go forward with confidence.
Well, we look there at the pavilion in the background, which was erected as a monument to the boys who fell in the Second World War. The Bath Memorial gates at the front of the school, as with the old memorial bars, were erected as a keepsake, I suppose, as a token for those who fell in the Great War. And now New Plymouth, with this great game of rugby to win, to come from behind to win it, to beat Gisborne at the Rectory. Is there a higher honour in first 15 rugby? In the last few years it's been tough, but man, Gisborne want to win this. But they're going to have to fight for it. They're going to have to earn it. They're going to have to tackle. They're going to, well, they might have lost the ball forward there. Has that been ruled forward? 24.
Yeah, it was a knock on there, but it was a good breakout from the side. It looked pretty opportunity might have been lost, but they did knock it on, and they certainly had a bit of wheels on the far side to get into that position. A little grubber kicking behind just didn't quite connect, and it was a knock on.
You could not ask for a better or bigger effort than we've seen from these two schools today. These guys have given it everything to their principles. Gentlemen, you guys have come out here and they've played the game in the right spirit and the right way, and no matter what happens, you should be proud of them. Here they come. It's a hee over to Bidwa. Bidwa managed to hang on to that. I can't believe he hung on to that. Punahihi again sets himself. Drives forward again. Talk about leg drive. He's got leg drive plus. Gisborne Boys again willing to run, willing to try things. Vono slipped on the ground. Every now and then he slips, Vono. I'm not quite sure why. So Vono now to be held up. Remember,
good leg drive, latching on, taking
well.
Gisborne Boys High forward there.
Did well. That's Hamblin. Is that Bidwa? No, it's not. That's the big fella. Fetu McGee, tight head prop forward, and led the team during the season as well. Hamblin to the left.
Yeah, good phases being put together here by Gisborne. Left and right.
Salio Tavaki.
They have the ball under control at the back of this ruck.
Hamblin, there's Mackay, 2-try scorer versus Tauranga. Wow, look at the physical effort, look at the output.
Look at the strong defence coming in from New Plymouth as well.
Grizzly Adams, defence from New Plymouth. That was the Tavaki. Ball went down, ball went forward. Okay, is it going to be, okay, penalty Gisborne. If that's a penalty and it's a shot, it gives them a chance here to put the game to bed. But do they have someone willing to take the shot? With a conversion, you don't have an option.
They're certainly discussing what their options might be. I'm not too sure how much running time we have left, Ben. You might be able to sort of tell me that.
Kevin, I'm a mess. I can't tell you anything. I can tell you right now. 24-20 is the best I can do.
No, they're going to tap and go, Ben. Tap and go and keep the ball in hand.
Edouard there.
He's gone to ground.
Front of the posts again. Gisborne up.
Slow ball, Gisborne. Slow ball.
They need to try if they've got. Okay, now penalty here, New Plymouth. Gisborne got to get back 10 metres and they got to run facing the opposition. Back 10 metres. Luke Bidwa gets up and asks what happened. He was buried in the thick of it. Okay, and that's a line kick.
Only about 3 minutes to go, folks, so very crucial line-out for Plymouth Boys High this time. Are they going to go with the 5-man line-out and have Luke Goodman at the back to try and crash through the middle? Count the numbers now, Ben. We have 4-man line-out. Yes, we'll have a crash play probably from Luke Goodman when it moves out wide, trying to bust through the middle.
Okay, New Plymouth to run now, we'll see. then bring the ball out of their own half. They're coming hard. New Plymouth are coming. New Plymouth are coming. Okay, it's a loose ball situation. Gisborne give chase. They make tackles now.
Oh, good defence, Gisborne.
Gisborne boys making
Plymouth
some
under a lot of pressure here. Can they clear the line?
You have to defend to win. They have to tackle and tackle. And then when they're tired, and then when they can't do it anymore, they got to get up and tackle again. So that third and fourth tackle, okay, is it advantage New Plymouth? It is advantage New Plymouth. Gisborne boys trying to run back, get organised. There are big holes in their defence. He's not being pedantic, referee Smith. He set the same standard the whole way through. You've got a mark, that's where you've got to take it from. They don't have the advantage of surprise now, New Plymouth. But there again, the wind died down.
Time is running out. This could be their last opportunity. Once again, what type of lineup will we have? Are we going to have the same strategy, a 4-man lineup, 5-man lineup with a break through the middle from Luke Goodman and then try to work left or right plays from there from the ruck? First job has to be done right first, the line out. It's taken short. Not the 5 metres and the game is over, Ben.
Okay, the game is over and Gisborne boys have their first win of the Super 8 season, their first win since the game against Huntington National Boys School, their first win in some time, and 24 points to 20 with magnificent tries, with Kaurangi Leach Waihi, with Bidwa, with Impala Waipara. They have come up with some incredible stuff. The penalty try. They clung on to win. They got in front for the first time in, well, I'm not going to say living memory, but certainly for a long time this season. Kevin Gledhill, New Plymouth came here to see and to conquer, and Gisborne boys dig deep. They have to dig deep at home in the last game of the season, and when they have to dig deep, they do.
Oh, they certainly did, Ben. They had a great second half. Gisborne Boys High, they came out with a lot more energy and purpose and drive and commitment in the second half. They got the job done and they have to be congratulated. They did play a very good game of rugby. They defended well. They shut down New Plymouth's opportunities. New Plymouth had their opportunities and obviously they got those tries on the board. But when it really counted in the last 15-20 minutes of the game, Gisborne Boys just wanted it better and they got the result. Well done, Gisborne, you deserve that win.
Nō reira, ko uti wa mātou mahi I tēnei rā, kia kai whakahaere mina, kai whakataitai, ka haumara, ta koutou hokinga, kia koutou kāinga. Tēnā koutou, nā kai mā takitaki, nā koutou tohono, noho ora mai, mā te wā.
In a very real sense, the self-esteem of these young men, rightly or wrongly, hinges on their performance and really the pride that they show in their jersey. New Plymouth Boys High School, with the guys today that played their last game, brought great honour to their jerseys. Wong, Matuku, Toremana, Dingle, Fever, Wiseman, Rover, Jackson, Steele, Davis and Steele. Magnificent they were for New Plymouth Boys High School, and of course for Gisborne Boys High School, the guys that played their last game today. Tuafalialo, Mohini, Ludwig, Page, Tavaki, Beatty, Chaffee, Cora, Punahihi, Isameli, Vono, Luke Bidwa has scored a try in his last game off the bench. Kevin, something they'll never forget for as long as they live.
Oh, they certainly won't. And as you said earlier, Ben, and we both agreed, the Rectory ground in Gisborne holds a special mana for players and teams to play on. It's a very difficult ground for players to come here and win. And even though there hasn't been a very good season for the Gisborne team by only just getting this one win, it's one they richly deserve. They played very well today, and they've made this all the spectators here proud of their effort throughout this season. They've done well, and they deserve that win.
Well, the big goodbye from me, Ben O'Brien with Kevin Gledhill and with Tobias Horsfield today here on Whakata Māori as the co-captains come forward from New Plymouth. Punahihi, they embrace in friendship. These are schools with a lot of history dating back to the wars and before the wars. You know, the sacrifices that many have made to build these schools, their reputations, their culture, their history, their background. I'm glad that you were part of it here on Whakata Māori. We treasure our history, our heritage, and of course, the special component, the cultural component, this Super 8. These guys an opportunity to be seen. It's magic. It is magic. There's nothing quite like it.
Well, it's been a real privilege to co-commentate it with you today, Ben. I appreciate the invitation to come over to Gisborne and do this, and I've enjoyed the game immensely. And it was good to have you Plymouth here today, their last game of the year. Thank you very much.